To tell you more about Captain Eddie Rickenbacker, let me quote from history.net. Here's a quote. To show that the airlines were better qualified to fly the mail, Rickenbacker, with Jack Fry, vice president of TWA, and a contingent of journalists flew coast to coast in the one and only Douglas DC-1, the granddaddy of all Goonie birds, in 13 hours and 2 minutes, a transcontinental record for commercial airplanes. It was public protest against what Rickenbacker bitterly denounced as legalized murder, since 3 Army pilots had died trying to get to their assigned stations. We told you Roosevelt cut off Eastern Airlines in an act of economic warfare to defund Eddie Rickenbacker. And you know what? He also censored him. After Rickenbacker proved that commercial airlines were better suited to deliver mail than fighter pilots, Congress took action. Here's from history.net. The Airmail Act of 1934 was passed after several more Army pilots were killed because they were untrained in instrument flying and their aircraft were inadequately equipped. The legislation changed the structure of U.S. civil aviation, established the Civil Aviation Authority that granted control over airports, air navigation aids, air mail, and radio communications. And Rickenbacker was fighting back against socialism. And he wanted to go on the radio that the government had just taken control of. And he went to the radio and he started to tell the story of what Roosevelt was doing. And guess what? President Roosevelt just called RCA, Radio Corporation of Americans, and take him off. The first man canceled, Eddie Rickenbacker. You know what else he did? He raised salaries. He improved working conditions. He instituted an employee stock option plan. He wanted to show that private enterprise works better than government handouts. And even in 1938, Rickenbacker bought the airline Eastern Airways. As he saw it, Eastern Airlines showed that free enterprise works for all parties. It was the only commercial airline to operate without subsidies. Even better, Eastern had the best safety record. In 1937, Eastern was the first airline to receive an award from the National Safety Council. It flew for 7 years, 141 million miles, without a single passenger fatality. FDR wasn't happy that America's ace of aces was vocally demonstrating that free enterprise is superior to his New Deal. So here I told you about this, quoting from warhistory.com, Rickenbacker believed FDR was implementing socialism and the famed fighter ace refused to stay quiet. He spoke out against President Roosevelt regularly and on public radio, criticizing the New Deal and the president himself. And FDR canceled Eddie Rickenbacker. So much for free speech. It's sort of like Twitter banning you if you vocally disagree with the official COVID narrative. Oh wait, they did that, didn't they? So here we have it. There's nothing new under the sun. The government tries to take over the whole economy and then attempts to silence anyone who disagrees with them. I get it. Things are more complex now, but the basic principles remain exactly the same. What we need to learn from Fast Eddie Rickenbacker is he outlasted FDR. He built Eastern Airways into a powerhouse before his retirement in 1963. He was a captain of industry after World War II, and he helped steer America back to free enterprise. He was never really silenced, and he never was afraid to stand up for what he knew to be true.